I think the wealth of music out there, the amount of music out there, the choices, it's overwhelmingly saturated, okay? So our goal, my goal for you, my goal for me, what I really want for all of us is to find our own lane and to really exceed it, win in your own lane. That was some of the best advice I ever was given, and I've been following it, and it's really been working. I'll tell you a little bit more why. So, I'm going to work through this a little bit. Let's, if we can, just take a look at these very brilliant class notes from your guru. And it is pretty focused. I mean, you know, when Justin sent me this, I thought, wow, you know, it's incredibly focused, and these are better than average students if they're hanging out in this stuff and talking about this stuff, and they're a little bit more informed as students, you know, coming into the professional world. So I'm going to go through a couple of these things and just ask and have a little dialogue together if we can. I wanted to address my friend. You raised a hand, and I forgot that there was a question about 15 minutes ago.
Oh, no worries. You mentioned the website, and I wasn't able to catch it. I didn't hear you. So I was just going to ask you.
My website?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's www.csmwords, W-O-R-D-S, and music, music.com. csmwordsandmusic.com.
Thank you.
I have cards. Everybody, please feel free to take a card. So you'll have my direct phone number, you'll have my direct email, you'll know how to reach me. And I can tell you from today forward, this is a guarantee. We're friends for life. Aww. You can reach me whenever you want, okay? You now have met another professional in the music industry. You know, I'm proven, I'm authentic, I'm credible, I'm available, and I'm interested in having this relationship. So a lot of people do what I'm doing and sometimes give the card, but they really don't want you to call them. I mean, they really don't. It's going through the motions, and you never get them. I'm telling you that that's not the case here. I genuinely want to create a friendship, know your lives, and together somehow strengthen what it is you want to accomplish. I call this Inside Shele Sondheim, my professional career experiences and personal insights. So everybody has first steps, right? So my first steps in music was my brother's influence. He taught me music was cool. And I relocated to Southern California, Pacific Palisades. I met the guitar. That was a really nice meeting. And I lived in the San Francisco Bay Area for a certain time in my younger life. And there was a lot happening there. I went to Winterland every Friday and Saturday night because my dad knew somebody who could get me tickets. So I saw everybody: Santana, Cold Blood, Tower Power, Paul Butterfield, all the British rock, Bowie and Slade and Mont the Hoople and Grateful Dead, and just that whole San Francisco Cold Blood. I got guitar lessons with Mike Bloomfield. It was really Jefferson Airplane. I mean, it was really Led Zeppelin. It was total hippie. It was me on corner of Haight-Ashbury stringing some beads, Pizza Dove. That was me as a kid, okay? And I was always in a band, jamming every day and listening and emulating my heroes, okay? So, I had like the afro because I wanted to look like Santana, or I got the SG because I wanted to, what they wore, I wore. I just emulated them, all right? Those were my first steps. Formal studies, I had a lot of private teachers. Went to San Francisco State, went to Berkeley. We're talking about school now. This is something that you brought up earlier. I also went to Grove School of Music, and I've had a lot of mentors. I've talked a lot about this mentor-disciple relationship. Some of my more famous teachers were Les McCann and John Handy, alto sax player, Jorge Strunz and Farrar. Practice habits. You got to really dial in those practice habits, and that's for producers, and that's for business people in the music business. All right. Networking, trade shows, joining all the organizations. You should all be in every organization there is. Association of Independent Music Publishers, the ASCAP stuff, the BMI stuff, songwriter groups, any kind of networking music organizations, join them all, and go to the meetings and learn how to network. You hear that word a lot, right? And it can be spooky, you know, it really can, but you have to do it. Do you understand what networking is when you think about it? I know social networking, but you know, I wonder how social networking is at times when somebody's like in their underwear in their living room, seeing nobody, hasn't shaved in 4 days, and they're, you know, how social is it? It's really social to like be in a hotel lobby with 300 people, and hey, Justin, hey, how's it going? You know, that you start to get a vibe with people. But sometimes that movie, you know, Lost in Translation, or the email, it does get lost. Even with friends and business people that I'm close with, the communication can go sour really fast by it got read wrong. I didn't mean to say that your wife's ugly and she's fat. I just said, are we meeting at 3 to like get that done? You know, and I get this. So the networking thing is really, really essential. It's a key element, and it's been a key element in my life. All right. So the professional career, relocating to Las Vegas, teaching gigs, getting the first big break. You had asked me, or somebody had asked me, I believe it was you, about, you know, did it matter where you went to school or something? So this is where it got a little rough for me. I came out of Berklee College of Music. I was very good at what I was doing, okay? Lee became my mentor, Lee Burke. I had all the, you know, killer musicians as my buddies. We just really succeeded as a jazz fusion. And jazz fusion was really big then. I had the big jazz fusion band. I wrote all the music and I played guitar in it and started my own show. I went out to Las Vegas and I couldn't buy a bad graveyard shift country and western duo on Boulder Highway. I just had no fortune in my life. I had shops at the Yin Yang. The amp was by the door, the stuff was packed. My mom rented me a tux from a clothing store. I had no job. And this went on for at least the first year I was in Las Vegas. So, you get a job. You know, you work in a restaurant, you do some sales, but the dream was there, and the goals were there, and the chops were there, and the knowledge was there, but the fortune wasn't there. So I had to develop fortune. But I did get a break, and you're all going to get breaks. You're going to, when I say get them, I don't mean I'm delivering you a break. I mean, you're going to create your break, okay? You're going to create your break, and when that break comes, you have to be ready to access it. You have to be ready to be at the top of your game to really make something of that break. Mine happened to be in show business with Lola Falana. And Lola is probably not your age, so I don't know if you know this woman. But in Las Vegas, at that time that I moved out there, there were two people that were at the top of the game. It's Wayne Newton, who is Las Vegas, and his main squeeze, Lola Falana, who was Miss Las Vegas. So Wayne Newton bought the Aladdin Hotel, and my gig was like, I don't know, with the LA Rams cheerleaders and the flying tubas with 4 trumpet players. You know, I was in the lounge at the Aladdin thinking I had made it in show business. You know, playing in this crazy whatever, you know, but it was my first gig, all right? And Lola, and one of the guys in that group, that was in the group was like Wayne Newton's butler, you know, he helped him backstage and stuff, but he was one of the singers in the group that we had in the lounge. That's why we got the gig. And Lola and Wayne came to the show to see Alan, and I was in the band, and Lola said, I want him as my guitar player. And I started with her the next day. And it turned into a 5-year, you know, traveling around the world, 40 weeks a year with Lola Falana. And I became her band director. And having the Lola gig in Vegas was big currency. It really was, because, you know, he was talking about, Wayne gave her like 20 weeks at the Aladdin Hotel, and she was just an absolute, unbelievable star. She treated us so wonderfully, first class everything, flew all around the world with her, to Monaco, all the resorts. All of a sudden it was big in show business. Cher, Lola Falana, Wayne Newton, Paul Anka, Roy Clark, Flip Wilson. I was the guy. And whoa, that's nice. But guess what happened? I got to like being the guy in Vegas, and I did a lot of other things, corporate gigs, stuff with the Las Vegas Convention Center. I had my own showcase at the Dunes Hotel on a Sunday night, open mic, what we would say open mic now. Doing commercials, doing jingles, just, you know, max show business, full relentless action. And I realized that even though I was making money, and it was warm there, and it was nice, I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy playing the same 9 songs. And big time, Police came in, Berlin, Echo and the Bunnymen, you know, it started, all right? And I started to write lyrics, and then it was over with. I couldn't play I Love the Nightlife or, you know, My Way or New York, New York. I couldn't do it anymore. And so I left Las Vegas. Now this was really jumping off the cliff. I relocated back to Los Angeles because I wanted to be a songwriter, producer. Now, being a musician, a touring musician, not even a session musician yet, a touring musician, Taylor Swift's guitar player, has nothing to do with the writers and producers that are in Nashville, unless he happens to be, you know, one, or he's Keith Stegall, or he's Dan Huff. But chances are he's just a guy who came out of Columbia College, plays his butt off, and he got a gig with Pink or whatever. But that's not whoever writing for Pink, or Pink writing with Tina.
Right.
Okay, so I knew a lot of musicians, but I didn't, I wasn't plugged into the songwriting. I joined all the organizations like I was telling you to do. And I also had to start getting good at it, you know? I mean, my idea of a smash then was a 7-minute lava lamp, you know, Grateful Dead jam on one chord. I mean, that smash hit. Don't you like it? It's called Pinky Talk to Me. Yeah. What? Don't you love that song? That's a hit. You know? But I was way far away from it. But I started really studying. I mean, I started listening to everybody that is doing stuff now. Sturgeon and Rogers are good friends of mine, Carl Sturgeon and Evan Rogers. Robbie Neville I went to high school with, and you know, I started getting into the Sweden thing, you know, the Swedish writer-producer teams, and started really looking at the songs as 3-minute Picasso. You know, there's a verse, there's a bridge. What's this? Oh, okay. Hi, welcome. So this is where it actually changed for me. And when I made the decision, is our industry guest. Let's give a nice Columbia welcome to Dan. Thanks for being on time. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to just take another 4 or 5 minutes to make yourself comfortable. You want a water or something? Or
Yeah, something.
I'm so happy you're here.
Yeah, me too. It'd be nice and sunny in LA. You know, 30 degrees warmer.
You're leaving for Los Angeles tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Going to my event.
Yeah.
Brent,
Yeah.
change the date on this. You know, we'll talk about this a little bit. There's an event in Los Angeles that Dan is leaving for tomorrow, where I'm on the I'm one of the advisors on the advisory board. It's called Hollywood Music and Media, and my good friend Brent Harvey runs this, and it's a really wonderful show. So I'm going to wrap up about myself because we're going to want to focus here with Dan.